The following program is rated GE. It is suitable for general family viewing.
Another beautiful Thursday katika Mfahamu Kiongozi, where we get to hear stories za viongozi wote katika taifa hili la Kenya na nje ya taifa hili. Na hii leo nipo katika kaunti ya Migori ambapo nasikia story na historia yake gavana wa kaunti hii nafahamika kama Daktari Ochilo Ayacko, na sijui ni kiongozi yupi mwingine ambaye ungependa nizungumze naye, na ukiandika kwenye 22047 mitandao ya kijamii @TV47 Kenya pale Facebook na ukurasa wetu wa X, nitamtafuta. Jina langu Liz Mutuku, tuandamane hadi tamati. Governor, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
I am very fine. It's been a minute.
Welcome to Migori. This is Migori County.
I never thought Migori is this beautiful. I think I am now changing my mind.
The story of creation was done here.
You think so?
Yeah, if you are thinking of any other place, name it.
I thought it started in my county, Ukambani.
I think it began here, then it started in your county.
If we start that story, then I think it will be something else. How have you been? How is work?
I've been okay. Work is hard. It's very difficult in practice, but quite attractive in theory. We deal with the day-to-day needs of the public, particularly the ones who don't travel much, who live with us, who struggle with us,
Yes.
and who are doing what ordinary people are doing. Their lives are the lives of the people around here. The normal person who goes weeding, cane cutting, the normal person who is an artisanal miner, a fisherman, a fishmonger, mama mboga, a boda person, the shopkeeper, the widows, the orphans.
Let me hear about this man Ochilo Ayacko, because we know you from the side of leadership, politics, and everything else outside there. But where were you born? Is it in this place? How was life like in a family of how many people?
Well, I can only say what I was told in terms of where I was born. I was told that I was born in Nairobi. But I was breastfed in my village,
Yes.
which is a part of Migori County, a place called Olare Kabwana in Awendo sub-county or constituency. Both my parents were born in that constituency. Their parents were also born in that constituency. So basically, my mother and father are from the same constituency. Although we have relatives in other constituencies, I was born there in the late 60s.
In a family of how many people? And what childhood memories do you have?
You know, in Africa, it's very hard to count the number of family members, but we are a large family. The Ayakkos are many. I have many uncles.
Yes.
The patriarch of the family was one gentleman called Ignatius Ayacko. He passed on the 14th of October 1984. Quite a number of years ago. He had many wives and many children. My father is, or let me say is because he's alive, is the eldest son of that clan. I am a second born of my father. I had a brother who went to glory. I believe there is some place.
We shall meet soon.
So he's deceased. I have many other younger brothers. Some of them are around, others are abroad, and many cousins. My early life was both urban and rural. The urban parts were when I lived with my father. I went to many primary schools. One of them was in Trans Nzoia County, a place called Kitale, a school called Milimani, I also attended 2 nursery schools. I was one of the lucky people who went to nursery schools before it was compulsory.
Yeah.
I attended one in Sotik and another in Kitale. I didn't finish the Sotik one, so when I went to Kitale, I began afresh. Finished my nursery school, went to Milimani Primary School, transferred from Milimani's primary school, went to a primary school in my village called Awendo Primary School, left Awendo Primary School, went to Manyata Primary School, left Manyata Primary School.
Oh my goodness, those are many schools.
Primary School, left Rinya Primary School, went to Agongo Primary School, left Agongo Primary School, went to Rayuer Primary School, then Agongo. I also had a stint at boarding school, a place called Kaimosi Junior School. But to the surprise of many, I didn't repeat any class. I was just that nomadic.
How many schools are those? I would like to hear.
About 7.
7?
Primary schools.
Why so?
7,
why was it like you were from this school to another? What was happening?
In the rural ones, I used to live with relatives who were teachers, and as they got transferred or went to train as teachers, TTC, I migrated with another.
All this time, what was your dream?
When I was in primary school, I wanted to be a primary school teacher because that is the authority that I was seeing around, and I loved the authority of teachers, how they had authority over those institutions.
And then you went to high school and you found...
No, when I went to high school, I still thought I would be the primary school teacher that I would be. And I had settled for that, but when I wrote my exams, the grades were so good that thinking of leaving school, nobody would agree to that. So everybody just said, wow, these grades are so good, I think you should go to high school. I went to high school A-levels, not knowing what I wanted to be, but thinking I should be an engineer. So in high school again, my engineering journey changed. My principal in high school said, no, although you are a good science student, you cannot pursue maths, physics, chemistry. You can only pursue physics, biology, and chemistry. So I declined because I didn't want anybody to choose anything for me. I said, I'm not going to be that scientist. So let me try something else. That's how I ended up doing arts. I did literature, geography, theory, economics. Still, I didn't want to be a lawyer, but when I was in high school, there's this famous lawyer, now I think retired, Richard Kwach, and the SM.
Yes.
I had wanted to be a professor of something. I didn't know a professor of what. So my father one day came to school and said, you should be a lawyer.
And so you picked it?
No, I said I didn't want. He said, just do it for me. So I did it for him.
You did law for your father?
Yes.
And today?
And I didn't want to be a lawyer.
And this is what you've practiced for a while. Is it something you regret doing?
No, I don't regret doing anything. I actually have vast trainings in many things.
Yes.
But my longest public career has been in politics, which has very little to do with my training.
Now that you've spoken of politics, how did you find your footing in politics?
I think there is something called destiny. When I was through with university and I applied for employment, I got 2 letters of appointment. One, to be a state council, to be paid a salary of 8,300.
8,000 or 80,000?
8,300 shillings. And another, that is being at the Attorney General's chambers. And another, to be an advocate of the High Court of Kenya in a private practice.
Yes.
And we paid a salary of 13,000. What was attractive or romantic about the advocate thing was that I would be able to run a branch of the law firm in Migori Township, this town. When I came to Migori, now this wind of change, multi-party Zoom, people getting arbitrarily arrested, needing lawyers available. So I started picking cases pro bono, by elections, representing people who were oppressed, people who were suffering. Then my name started selling like lollipop among the poor and the humble. And those days you didn't need money.
Yes.
You just needed to show leadership and courage in difficult times. And that's what I showed as a young person.
Approximately how much did you spend looking at that time?
About 750,000.
Only?
Only.
And that's how you got into politics?
I got elected into politics, so I call it fate.
Having served in politics and served people, how do you compare then and today? Now you are in the seat of governor.
Politics has changed. Representing people in parliament has changed, and it has not changed for the better. It has changed for the worse. I do not want to blame the current crop of politicians, but I think if nobody deals with the ecosystem or the environment that politicians are operating in and members of the public are operating in, then we have lost politics as a service. We have created a situation where politicians have to look for money to address the needs of the people.
Some of the good memories you have of Kibaki, because I know you served under him.
Kibaki was a president who was who had what we call fiscal and budgetary discipline. So Kibaki's promises or delivery was based on what the budget permitted. He was a president who did not amplify or glorify personal contribution. So he tried as best he can to limit the leadership perception that arises from large donations that we give. Kibaki was a president who worked largely within the office, and his government was subscribing to a concept called constitutionalism, the limitation that the Constitution imposes on a government. There was very little that was done during that time that was outside the Constitution. Of course, power at times becomes excessive, but Kibaki was like that. Mwai was a very strict disciplinarian, but again, Mwai's government had its own moments of intolerance, and many people were arrested, never tried, and jailed. But the economy was not as good. Kibaki's economy and social support was very good. Kibaki's system guaranteed free primary education.
Yeah.
The funds that were flowing for CDF and others were available. Uhuru's government, when you look at Uhuru's was largely a happy-go-lucky guy.
What do you mean?
He was a happy-go-lucky guy, just laughing most of the time, but was hardly out there when it came to public matters. So those were some of the challenges that Uhuru's government had. I didn't verify that there was runaway corruption. But of course, big monies, big scandals were rampant. Ruto's government is a government that is involved in field work.
Involving the Mwananchi.
Yes, Ruto is an energetic president who is always in the field. And when the presidency is in the field, you will find that there is a lot of associated expenditure. But the public seem to like it. So these are different styles. Maybe we will be able to assess or evaluate Ruto's government after his tenure.
I know very well Raila Odinga is a man you've worked with so closely.
Yeah, we still work.
And you're still working with him at the moment. What are some of the untold good memories you've shared with Raila Odinga?
Raila is also a field person. Raila is a politician who is an outdoor politician. He's not an indoor politician. Raila is an extremely courageous person, and he never likes missing action, even when that action is hottest. So I actually share with him some of those very hot activities that have been transformative to our nation. The demonstrations, the fight for public rights,
yes,
the never relenting on the face of adversity and fire. So that is Raila.
You've been
and
with
it is
him.
fun to be around such a fighter. The adrenaline, the fear that you could get arrested. Then when you get arrested, you don't give a damn, because there is nothing that they will do beyond arresting you. That's the fun of Raila's style, and it has expanded the democratic space. The democratic space we have now is Baba's space. The new constitution is Baba's constitution. Maybe implementing those things have not been Baba's right or duty to implement, but his being around gives us a big space. Even the broad-based understanding that is going on, Baba's engagement with the current president has broadened the political space. So there is a lot of many colors.
Yeah.
You know, a coat of many colors,
Yes.
Jacob's coat.
Yes.
That's the broad base.
You've spoken of Raila being that man who energizes everyone around him. And I know you've been to Mandamano and many other spaces where he has been fighting for people's rights and democracy. One day you cannot forget, one event you cannot forget, and which we don't know.
In 1991, let me give you an event. That one of 1991, 1992. Those were demonstrations prior to the arrest and detention of Matiba.
Yes.
The demonstrations in Nairobi. In one of those demonstrations, there was very serious tear gassing in one of those demonstrations, and I saw how Kibaki was whisked away and Matiba. But for us who were around Raila, we were very young then. We fled and hid in some parking. And it is that hiding in the parkings of the city, I'll not tell you the house, that made it fun.
I know you've served the longest in politics. However, I know you're a family man as well. Tell me how you met this wonderful person.
My dear wife, Agnes, we were in university the same time. She comes from what is now called Rongo constituency. Then it was still also called Rongo constituency, but it had another now constituency called Awendo. We met she was in Limuru Girls when I was in Alliance High School, so we could meet at a distance. We were not friends. But where we met properly is when we were receiving our boom from National Bank in Kisii. University students then were given money called boom. 5,040 shillings. Beer was only 5 bob.
I can imagine how much you had. It was too much, yes.
So we met at the bank. There were very few ladies going to university at that time. We were also very few men. And we met, and I became a student leader thereafter. So I used to visit all the campuses, and I continued seeing her. I saw her, and I still see her today.
How many years down the line?
Many years. We've been at it for many years.
What is the secret? What is the secret of being at it for those many years?
Is commitment.
How many kids do you have?
3.
How big are they? How old
Working,
are they?
and one in primary school in an academy in Nairobi.
If you were to change your career to something else, what could that be? Because already you've said that entirely you've been a politician.
It's not possible to change. it's not even possible for a politician to get engaged in another career in Kenya. The reason is because of the nature of politics, the jingoism, the cacophony around it. It's not easy for you to resume your professional life. The customers, the clients don't trust you with their affairs once you are in politician. Or employers think that you are as loud and as difficult as most politicians, so you'll never get to be employed. And politics is very addictive, so you will never agree that the public have left you. So you'll keep coming back until you may not have the energy or the resources to come back.
Today you've learned a lot, and you've gone through a lot in politics. Lessons learned, and some of the challenges even as we close this moment.
Politics is a calling. Politics is service to the people. Because it is a service to the people, try, if you are a politician, to love your people, to see their difficulties and their challenges as your own challenges and as your responsibility to solve. Politics is not about winning elections. It is about winning the approval and the followership of the people who put you in office. It is an office of trust. That I have learned from politics, and I have seen members of the public getting heartbroken when the outcome of their expectation is miles apart with the expectation when they put you to office. The biggest challenge in politics is that most politicians, almost all of them, prefer to align with what is popular rather than what is truthful.
Yes.
Because what is popular seems to sit easy with the public. But the truth, the real truth, is hard for the public. So it has always been my prayer that what is popular is also what is true. Yeah. Some of these popular promises we make should align with what we are able to do.
Okay. Now allow me to ask you questions which I need only one word answer. It's a quick fire session. Your favorite color?
Blue.
Your favorite meal?
Fish.
Your worst day?
Mondays.
One thing you cannot do without?
One thing that I cannot...
You cannot do without?
Or in other words, one thing that I like.
Yes.
Friendship.
If I was to find you somewhere randomly, where could that be?
In my home.
Introvert, extrovert?
A small crowd.
If I was to choose between forests and oceans, which one would you go for?
You would find me in the forest.
Your current read?
Right now, watching a movie.
Which movie?
I'm watching a Lincoln Lawyer.
If I was to find you with the latest ride, which one is that?
A V8.
Which country have you traveled most?
I have the most frequent, the US.
One word from the Bible, one verse from the Bible, which we can get it randomly from you.
Genesis chapter 1 verse 28.
What does it say?
It says, go ye into the world, multiply, fill it, and dominate over it. Another one is Mark chapter 10 verse 1 to 12.
What does it say?
For that reason, a man shall leave his father and mother and shall become one with his wife. And what God has put together, let no man put asunder.
I feel like just ending it at that, but what is your nickname?
Pindra.
Pindra, meaning?
It's a quill.
Pindra and go ye multiply. I end it at that. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to hear your story. Such an interesting one. This is just part 1. I'll be back for part 2 where I would like to see you fishing, because I believe you do know that bit. But for now, I call it goodbye. And thank you so much for watching TV 47 MFAHAMU KIONGOZI. This is where you get to hear interesting bits of the leaders we have in the country and even outside the country. I'm Liz Matuku. Keep it TV 47.
We value your feedback. If you would like to send questions, comments, suggestions, or complaints for any of our programs,